So, how did this tragedy end? In a court battle. Iris had to go to court to get Joseph's sperm because he had checked a clause in the donor contract stating his sperm could not be used if he died. And now a judge has agreed, ruling Joseph had made it clear he did not want to father a child after his death.
Oh, please welcome back to the program, Karen Mills Francis, better known as Judge Karen. Hi, Judge Karen.
Hi, Judge. And also with us is reproductive lawyer Melissa Brisman. So, if you were the judge on this case, what would you say? What would you say? Do you think the judge...
I agree with the court in this case.
Okay, what exactly happened?
Because
here?
what happened here is that they were in the fertility process. It's not like he went to a sperm bank and left the sperm. The fertility center required that he keep one frozen sample in case on the day of the insemination his live sperm wasn't available. Well, there was a contract for both parties to sign that said, if you should die, what do you want to happen to this sperm? 2 boxes. Either it's destroyed or donated to my wife.
What did he mark?
He checked destroy it. She also signed the agreement, so she knew too.
Melissa, case closed.
I don't think it was a contract. It was a consent form. It's to protect the clinic from legal liability. It's after their treatment is over, what's going to happen if I die, not what happens if I die in the middle of a treatment cycle. That's different. What happened if they put the sperm in her and he died in the middle before she got the pregnancy test? Are we going to tell her?
Have you ever seen one of these contracts?
Absolutely. I write them all the time.
The boxes,
it's not a contract.
Okay, but when you're signing, you know, sometimes some of us, when we're in a rush, when we're just not thinking, we're too overwhelmed, we just check boxes and we sign things and we don't really look at what we're doing. Is that what happened here? Did he not know what he was signing?
It's about the intent of the parties, though. It's about the intent.
Well, how are you going to get in a dead man's head?
Because the dead man knew before he died that if I am to die, what do I want to happen? That's like saying that somebody writes a will and we shouldn't even think about what they were thinking at the time.
I agree with you. He checked a box and said, if I'm dead...
But you know what else we're missing here, too? Is that this lady fought this man while they were married to have children. He didn't want to have children. They ended up in counseling. She threatened to divorce him. And as a matter of fact,
to make her happy, though,
he says, you know what?
They stayed together, and he said, yes, I will have
Nobody knows what goes inside a marriage. People say they want kids, they don't want kids. They're obviously wanting kids. They're going through an IVF cycle. So they decided as a couple to have kids. He died in the middle of the cycle.
While he was alive, he wanted a child.
And guess who her fight was against? Her fight was against his own parents. His parents said he didn't want to have children.
We don't know.
It was really clear.
We don't know. A lot of times those kinds of situations come up. This guy, it's a lesson to everyone. Have a will if you're going to have a child. Because they didn't have a will, and we don't know if whether or not, because they didn't have a will, this is about money.
But she is in charge of his estate, right?
Yeah, but she's only the executor of the estate. An executor of the estate is the person that gathers all the assets of the estate and makes sure that those assets are distributed to the entitled parties. She can't make a decision about what's going to happen with his property. The court said it's not like the pre-embryos where her egg, his sperm are together frozen. The court said this was his sperm. He had a right to it, and he had a right to dispose of it. She was arguing that because it was his property, it should pass on to her.
I'm curious what the audience thinks here. Who thinks that the judge made the right decision in saying that she could not have that sperm? Raise those hands. Raise those hands.
Who wants her to have his sperm? Oh, well, that was lukewarm.
But I think this case is unusual because most people don't drop dead at 30-something years old in the middle of an IVF cycle. Usually when they say they want their sperm destroyed, they intend they had kids, there's leftover sperm, they don't want it to be used after they're gone. In this particular case, this person died in the middle of a cycle when he was intending to have a child. So if you look at the pure intent, this is why it made it to court. It's not that clear.
They could have imagined that this man could have died. He was a police officer in a major city. So he could have died.
Absolutely.
You know what? My advice to Iris, you fought this man for years to have his child. He didn't want to have children. The man is dead 3 years later. You're still fighting to have his child. You need to move on.
She loved it.
Okay?
All right. On that note, ladies, thank you very much. Next up, have you...